GoPro here, just so I don't have to think about it again.
There you go, and get your your doors not latched over there. There we go. Kind of a pain. There we go. And then we'll just kind of pull this back a little bit once we start it. There we go.
Radio's on.
Yep.
122.7.
That's ours here.
Yep. Parking brake set. Cabin doors and windows closed and locked.
That's before takeoff. We can leave them.
Okay.
We can leave them open for taxi.
All right.
Yep. We're good to go.
Okay.
Good to taxi. We'll let the parking brake off, and then if you want to do a radio call, you can just say Murray traffic 1971 Foxtrot, taxi to runway 30.
Murray traffic, Cessna 4971 Foxtrot, taxi to runway 30.
Perfect. And then now once we get going, perfect. Look at that, testing your brakes already. All right.
All right. You want that to yours or?
Nah, mine are connected to yours.
Okay.
If yours work, mine should too. And that's just normal metal building interference.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out here. I avoid the planes when I can.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Do it on the left.
Yep.
And I try and avoid the tie-down straps.
Yeah, they really should have them better marked. Kind of a weird way they have it laid out here.
Yeah.
There we go. It's kind of weird. Gets a few times to get used to steering with your feet.
Yeah, for sure.
One of my friends that started learning about the same time I did said that he would always leave the airport, he'd always leave here and try to steer his truck with his feet on the way home. He'd catch himself doing it.
All right. Yeah, I find if I have my hands up here, I try and.
Yeah, you try to. I know. You have to. It's good. It's good to have one on the throttle. The other one you just kind of have to put somewhere so you're not tempted.
Yeah.
To steer like this. Now, if it was a really windy day and there was crosswinds, then we would put our corrections in.
Yeah.
But it's very calm. And this actually is the way you would leave the yoke, with just a straight tailwind. Just like this. So.
Yeah, imagine you want something on it just so that it's not slapping around if a gust comes up or something.
Yeah.
Going a little fast, aren't we?
No, that's good.
Yeah?
You're good,
right.
yeah. Yep, it's like a fast walk or slow jog speed. This is good.
All right.
Yeah, one of the other things that I always did when I was first starting too was I would always land on the right side of the runway.
Yeah.
Because I felt weird landing in the center because you don't drive in the middle of the road.
Well, yeah, most people don't.
You know, yeah. So it takes a few things to get used to, but everything just comes, you know, eventually everything becomes muscle memory.
Sure.
So.
And you know, everything just looks right.
Yes.
Right now, nothing looks right because I don't know what to compare
It's all
it
brand
to.
new. It's your second time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like driving a new car for the first, you know, few times, you know, it just feels weird.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's weird because we use an instruction manual for everything we do, basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Compared to a car, we just hop in and go.
Sure. Let's see. Starting the engine before takeoff. Parking brake set. Cabin doors and windows closed and locked.
Alrighty.
Suffer for a minute. Let's see. Flight control is free and correct. So we're just going to kind of do it in 2 steps. I check and make sure everything's feels fine, and then I actually look.
Alrighty.
Find if I do too much at once, it's just...
Yeah.
Alright, and we got... Rudder's moving. Okay. Oh, aileron. Flight instruments set, so let's look at the...
Alrighty.
That's about right for me.
Yep.
And what's our altitude?
It's about 11 feet here, so really it's just the first tick mark.
So,
yep, perfect.
Okay. And flight instruments,
Then we have the heading indicator, so we just have to match it up there. About 050 is what it looks to me. Clearly the plane was turned off and then turned around. That's why that one is so off.
Gotcha.
There's no actual, I don't know if Rose ever said this, there's no actual, and you maybe know it, magnetic device in here. This is just a gyroscopic instrument, so.
Right.
Just to make it easier for us.
Right about there.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay. We're about 0.
Mm-hmm.
Fuel selector valve is still on both. Mixture rich, it's there. Elevator trim and rudder trim if installed. We're going to 0 it because I really need practice using the runner.
Yeah.
Taking off. Throttle, 1700 RPM, so
perfect.
Good positive brake pressure. And coming up. 1700, magnetos check. We're looking for that RPM drop. Excellent. And checking the other one. Excellent, did nice and staying.
Perfect.
Carburetor heat.
Alright.
Alright, a little bit of an RPM drop there, perfect. Suction gauge. Yep, in the green. Throttle, 1,000 or less.
There we go.
They basically just say to bring it back to full idle, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, if we were a fuel-injected plane, then you typically keep it at 1,000, but this is carbureted, so idle's fine.
Radio set. Got those. Autopilot, we do not have an autopilot.
Nope.
Air conditioner, we don't have one of those unfortunately either. Strobe lights as desired. I guess we don't really need any.
We don't have strobe lights either.
Oh, okay.
Just the beacon.
Oh, yeah.
So actually the nav lights, that's the red and green on the wingtips.
Yeah.
They're only required sunset to sunrise.
Right.
So we'll just turn them off to save the bulbs. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you actually can't really see them during the day anyway.
Throttle friction lock adjust.
Don't have that either.
Okay. Brakes release.
That's it. Alrighty, so we got to the runway. 55 is when we start adding our back pressure, and then 65 will lift off.
Alright.
Alrighty. And then after we get past the trees, then we'll just kind of make a right turn and kind of climb along the edge of the bay.
Okay.
That sound good?
Yep.
Alrighty. Murray traffic, 71 Foxtrot, departing runway 30 with a turn to the north. Murray. Looks clear to me, don't hear anyone.
Got a bird, but that's it.
As long as the little Tweety birds, we'll just turn it into a blender. If it's a hawk,
Yeah. Alright, all the available runway. All right.
All right.
All
Ready?
secure, ready to go?
Ready when you are.
Okay, feet on the floor. Right rudder.
Perfect.
Oh, a little too much right rudder. All right, looking for that airspeed coming alive. Excellent. Down the center of the runway. A little wobbly. And we're at 50. 55. Steady back pressure. Rotate. And a little bit more, and we're up.
All righty.
Whew, a little too much.
That's all right. Now we'll just aim for 75.
Yep.
And then one of the good habits to get in on, especially, we had somebody just take their test to get their license, and the examiner, as the only thing he said that the student needed to practice more on was keeping your hand on the throttle during.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, too much bank.
Yeah. So next time we'll just go a little bit out.
Oh, a little
before
further?
we turn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We don't usually turn until we get just about right over the water. I know it's discomforting to get right on the water, but we still have some gliding time. This is perfect. There we go. Just trim for about 75 knots is our climb speed.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Not too much.
That's all right. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
All right.
Perfect. Looking good.
Wow, that just feels funny.
So, what's the wind?
Yeah. I'll go up a little bit.
Let's give us a little turn to the left, and we'll just kind of head over towards the Arcata Bottoms.
Okay.
Yeah, so seeing the other differences too, like, so you know we have right rudder in while we're climbing, but now when we go left, we probably don't even have any rudder in and the plane's still coordinated, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so see how, there we go, yep.
Yeah.
So we'll climb up to 2,000 and then we'll level off and then we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy how a plane from 1980 can fly itself almost when you know how to use when you get the use of trim down. I didn't realize how hands off the flying would be in a little airplane. Alrighty, there's 2,000. There we go, so just perfect.
Power down?
Yep.
How about?
Yeah, kind of push the nose forward just a little bit. There we go.
Yeah.
We usually try to let the plane speed up just a little bit before we bring the power back.
Oh, gotcha.
But that looks good.
All right.
Alrighty, so now let's just get us trimmed out for right here.
Okay.
Look pretty good. And see now that as the airplane accelerates again in cruise flight, it's going to climb again. So
right.
You just kind of have to go a little more maybe. Or is it staying pretty still? Let's see, if we let go, what happens?
Yeah, it's going to
come up a little bit. All right, just put a little bit more nose down. That looks pretty good, I think. All right, let's give me a 90-degree turn to the left. Not like a 90-degree bank, I just meant like face the ocean.
90-degree heading change.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There we go. That way Watching our rudder. Yeah, so whatever rudder input you have in there.
Too much. Pull back.
There we go, about a 30-degree bank. Okay. That's pretty good.
Roll out on the west heading.
Here we go, and one thing this plane does sometimes is, which is better that it creeps in, not out, but the throttle creeps in a little bit.
Okay.
So you'll either have to retrim a little bit, or yeah, there you go, just reduce the power a little bit. Sometimes it's only like a certain power setting, it just likes to creep in a little bit.
Probably just a vibration just starts
yeah.
They were a little fast. Want to be around 100 knots, right?
Yeah, around 100 is fine. Anywhere in the green arc is fine. Yeah, we did kind of speed up there a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the things that, or one of the reasons why we could have been speeding up, maybe just because we descended a little bit.
Yeah.
And that kind of speeds us up too. Yeah, go ahead. Let's give us a turn. We'll head down the shoreline here for a minute.
Okay.
Murray traffic 71 Foxtrot, over the Arcata Bottoms at 2,000 feet, heading south along the beach. Murray.
So if we were to lose our engine right now, how far down the beach would we be looking for a landing spot?
We would probably be looking, let's see, I know where I'm picking. Well, actually, we would turn 180 degrees because the wind's coming from, that way we would land at the headwind.
Right.
So, 2,000 feet, we'd probably go about 4 miles or so, about how far down we would glide. Alrighty, why don't you give me a climb to 3,000, and then that way we'll get a little higher now so we can do slow flight once we're up there.
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect, and then they'll just bring us back up to bring us back down to 75 knots.
Come on.
Yeah, there you go. Might have to put some nose up trim. Perfect. Looking good. Trim is your best friend. It's good to learn how to use it right away because that'll make the rest of the whole entire process a lot easier.
Seems a little smoother up here.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be opposite. Most of the time it's smoother. There we go. One of the things I always get used to too is I'll just call out 100 to go. That way, you know what I mean? That way we anticipate it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, there we go.
Start.
There we go.
Pick up some airspeed.
Samoa traffic, 71 Foxtrot's 2 miles north of the field, passing by heading south along the coast at 3,000 feet, Samoa. There we go. On our way to the right direction. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, let's do a, you know, just transition to slow flight here for a minute. Now this is a perfect spot to do it at. Okay. So to get into slow flight, I like to go right to left anytime I'm doing any sort of dramatic power changes. So by that I mean we'll do carb heat, power 1,500, and then below 110 knots, which we are now, you can go flaps 10.
Right.
And then once the airspeed indicator gets to the white arc, then we can just go all the way down. And then we'll just kind of retrim the airplane out in slow flight, and we'll just kind of cruise around in slow flight for a little bit.
All right, so carb heat's coming on.
Yep.
Yeah. Oop, wrong way.
That's all right. Perfect.
And
1,500, yep, and then kind of bring some back pressure in. Yeah, there we go. That'll help us slow down. And then we just go flaps 10. 10. There we go. And then, yeah, bring that yoke back a little bit. Perfect. There we go. Now we're 20. Awesome. Yep.
One notch at a time, right?
Yeah, I go all of the, in the wide arc, I do all of it. So that way I don't have to do so many corrections with my pitch.
So, let's see.
Probably have to add some nose down trim, and probably gonna have to give us a little bit of power too. Sorry, I meant nose up trim. And then add us a little power. There we go.
There we go, man.
So slow flight is done at 45 knots. So we'll just kind of, yeah. So you're good. We're still getting set up for it. So give us a little bit of nose up trim, probably. It almost takes all of it. Not quite all, but it takes quite a bit. There you go. About like that, and then about, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so our goal is to pitch for 45 knots, and we use our power to maintain our altitude, which is exactly the opposite of what we do at all the other times.
So I'm sinking, so I need to add some.
Add some power, yep. Yeah, there we go.
All right, and that's I'm gonna not want to slow down too much though.
Yeah. Yep, so when we're doing slow flight, we use our pitch for our airspeed because that gives us a more quicker response of a change than the power does.
Oh, right.
So that's why we use our pitch for our airspeed and our power for our altitude.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we're still a little fast.
Normally we're using our power for our airspeed and our pitch for our altitude all the other times.
Or at 50.
50, alrighty, maybe just a little bit. There we go.
Yeah. That is such an uncomfortable feeling. It's like I'm going to fall out of the sky. I know I'm not.
No. You won't fall out of the sky.
It's just, all right, so then we want to adjust our altitude a little bit.
Yep, so we can even just go full power. The airplane barely climbs when you have flaps 40.
Oh, right.
So you can just go full and then...
flaps 40. Oops.
Oh, there you go. That'll probably make us slow down a little bit.
There we go.
Yeah, and then since we have full power, in order to give us as much power as we can to climb, you can get rid of our carb heat since we're in the green arc on the RPM gauge.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There we go. This is great. Slow flight so far. Really good job.
All right.
Yeah, very nice.
I feel like I'm chasing the nose of the plane with my controls.
That's just kind of how it feels because it's so wishy-washy.
Yeah.
There's less air flowing over the ailerons, makes them less effective. So now that we're up to 3,000, you can kind of just bring the power back to about maybe 2,000-ish or so. Should give us level flight. And then once we lower, because that'll allow us to lower the nose just a bit, then you'll probably be able to see outside more, because we couldn't really see outside, and that's what happens when you stare at the instruments, you end up chasing them. So now we can just kind of look outside that we can actually see there, and kind of judge, now see how you're already naturally not chasing anymore?
Right.
So that's perfect. because we actually have a visual reference to look at. So why don't you give me a turn towards, do you see Ronerville Airport over there to the left?
I wouldn't even know what to look at.
Oh, okay. You're not from, you must live in Eureka?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is that over there in the sort of yellowish?
It's way over there in the corner. So see the river? There you go. Just point me towards the river.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think there's a little white building to the left of the runway. Is that what? Okay.
Yep, that is.
I know what we're going.
There we go. So this is
too much.
That's about as there we go. That's about as steep as you'd ever want to turn in slow flight. Not dangerous wise. I'm talking check ride stuff.
Okay.
Obviously that's far away, but I try to not let my students do too many things. You know what I mean? That are outside of the check ride realm. So I don't mean to sound like strict or anything. It's easier to stop bad habits from starting before than it is to break bad habits later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I want to do everything as...
Yeah, don't ever feel like I'm yelling at you or anything like that. That's not my style. We're here that flying is fun, so even though we're learning, it's going to be fun along the way, you know.
Gotcha.
Perfect, so that was a good one. Let's see, you want to do a couple more turns in slow flight?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's do, why don't you just point me towards CR? Well, that's going to be hard to see.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to be hard to see once I make the turn.
It's going to be hard to see once you turn. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and point back towards the city. Back towards Eureka.
All right. Here. A bit of rudder.
I haven't even heard the stall horn chirp once. This is, like, excellent. There you go, that was really good. So, since you're doing so good on slow flight, I would like you to stay in slow flight, but descend me down to 2,500.
All right, so that's going to be a throttle function.
Exactly, yep, because we're going to use our pitch to keep 45, and we're just going to bring the power back, and then we actually will descend, even though the picture is still kind of going to look like this, almost.
Right, so we're going to kind of come in at a...
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yep. Just picture like an airliner on final. That's kind of what, you know, kind of probably have a little bit of a nose high. There you go. Perfect. Yeah.
A little nose up here. Right on 45.
There we go. Maybe just a little, we can bring the power back just a little less. Actually, it's looking pretty good so far. Yeah. There we go.
We want about 500 feet a minute?
You know what, in slow flight, this is okay. A little bit slower. Typically, yeah, 500 is what we want, but if we get 3 or 4, then that's great for slow flight. It'll make the recovery a little easier. So now we can just talk a little bit about the recovery since you're holding this in the descent. That looks great. So obviously for the recovery, we're just going to add our power back in. I think we're about cruising at about 2,000 RPM. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So we'll just add our power back in, and then we're going to keep our pitch for 45. Keep our pitch for 45 knots.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Power back in.
That looks great. Look at that. Level off right at 2,700. Very nice. So now the recovery from slow flight is going to be full power, and then you just lower the nose to get that airspeed, and then eventually we'll bring the flaps up. We'll actually bring the flaps up from 40 to 30. We can do that immediately, and then as we gain more airspeed, then we'll do more. So you can just recover from slow flight. So just go full power. There we go. Lower the nose a little bit. There we go, and you can go flaps 30. And then as we get some more airspeed, we'll probably have to mess with the trim because we have a ton of nose high in. There we go. And then we can bring the flaps up probably another notch.
That makes a huge difference.
Huge, huge difference.
Right there.
Yep. And then we can bring them up to 10 probably. And actually at 75 knots, they can come all the way up. There we go. Now let's just climb back up to, let's go ahead and climb back up to 3,000 and we'll level off. maybe give us a turn over towards the mouth of the bay. Or just towards the Samoa airport. This looks good. There we go. Are you feeling a lot more comfortable about control the plane? I can tell you seem very comfortable about it, so I think it's good.
Well, yeah, didn't realize that I was overbanking so much on my first flight.
Oh, gotcha.
Now that I'm using the
turn coordinator,
kind of at least get an idea of.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, oh, that's not nearly as far as I was banking before.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So when you were with Rose, did you do any stalls with her?
No.
No? Okay. Well, let's do a couple stalls. I'll demonstrate them.
Okay.
And we won't take anything to a full stall. We'll just recover at the indication of the stall horn. So I'll take the plane.
Your controls.
My controls. Okay, so we'll do the power off stall first. And the power off stall, there's only 2 stalls you have to learn as a private pilot. And this one is so as if we were coming in for landing. So we're kind of going to be in the slow flight configuration. We're going to have the flaps full. So I'm going to go carb heat, power 1,500, and then I'm going to go flaps 10. Kind of let them get down the now. We're all the way in the wide arc, so I'm just going to go flaps all the way. And then I'm going to catch 65 knots. So once we start talking about landings, we talk about that coming in to land, our speed across the numbers is what we call it, is 65 in this airplane.
Okay.
So we show a descent at 65 knots. Here's the descent. Obviously, we're descending. And so now pretend maybe a deer ran across the runway or somebody pulled out in front of us on the runway, and I forgot to add power to do my go-around. So really, literally all you do to demonstrate this stall is you go power idle, bring the nose up, and then you just hold the plane here. That's all you do. You just hold the plane level. There's the stall horn, lower the nose, full power, and we go flaps 30. Get rid of the carb heat. And flaps 20, because we actually accelerated pretty quickly there. And then 65 knots, we can go up to flaps 10. And almost to 75, flaps up, and then you climb back up to your altitude. All right, want to try?
Yeah.
All right, perfectly easy. Your airplane?
My airplane.
Your airplane. All right, so I left you in the climbing, but you can do it at this altitude. It's okay.
Yeah, well, I kind of want to get on 3,000.
Okay.
I want to see how much altitude we lose once the stall horn.
Perfect. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Let's just give us a little turn. We'll just kind of follow the shoreline back up again. You know what I mean?
Roger.
And then when we get up to 3,000, then you can get set up for it again. Yeah, they're really simple. The power off stall is, honestly, this plane, unless it's like the perfect weight and balance, it won't actually go to a full stall in a power off configuration. So like I could have actually just held that yoke all the way back, and the plane just sort of went like this, kind of.
Really?
It would never actually go to a full stall unless I were to scoot my seat back.
Oh. All right.
Yeah. Nothing scary about stalls.
Trying to get level at 3,000 here.
Alrighty.
Yeah, good enough. All right. So we go carb heat on.
Yep. Power 1500.
Power 15. Carb heat on.
There you go. 15. And then flaps 10. And go ahead and throw some nose up trim in because you don't want to lose any altitude yet. There you go. That's probably good. Yeah, about like that's probably good. Okay, so wide arc. We can just go all the way.
All the way. That's going to make it want to pitch up.
Yep, and then just push 65. The nose forward. There you go. Yeah. No, you're good. It's all right. We're learning. There we go. Okay, so 65. So just bring that power idle, and then just hold the nose level. There you go. Power's all the way idle. Then bring that nose up. A little more, a little more, a little more. Yeah, we basically just stop the descent is what we're doing. There we go. And then just hold it right here. There you go. Lower the nose. Power goes full.
Power goes full. Carb heat off.
Yep.
Oh.
That's all right. And then flaps to 30.
30.
There you go.
At 65 knots. Come up to 10, 20.
Yeah.
10. And all the way up?
Yep.
All the way up.
Yep.
And
75 is totally safe for all the way up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was great. So there we go. We lost about 400 feet. Yeah. That's pretty normal. So climb back up to 3,000. You want to do that one again?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that again, and then I'll demonstrate the power on stall. You can do a couple of those also. Yeah, stalls are nothing that some people get so worked up about them, but
no, I have a basic understanding of aerodynamics, so I don't really have that fear that the plane's going to suddenly cartwheel out of control or anything.
Yeah, no, it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I have had to purposely fly I've had to purposely do that in a 172 because in order to be a CFI you have to.
Right.
And you literally have to hold the plane. I'm talking about a spin. You have to hold the plane a 172 in the spin, and even then it's not even an actual spin because this plane naturally does not spin.
Yeah. All right.
There you go, and just bring that power back a little bit.
Yep.
That'll help you with your trim. There we go. Alrighty.
All right. Turn us away from the buildings here a little bit.
Yeah, sure, that sounds good.
Coordinated turn, yay!
Yeah, perfect.
I always forget that you lose altitude in turns.
Yeah. That's all right.
Okay.
Alrighty. Let's do another power off stall.
All right, so we're gonna go 15. Oh, carpet on.
Yep. 1500. There you go. Hold us level. There you go.
Till the speed comes down.
Yep. And then you can go flaps 10. Below 110 is flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
There we go.
Help us slow down. We can do another nod all the way down.
There we go. There's our 65. Yeah, that's all right. It kind of disappears from us quick.
Yeah, it does.
There you go. So there's our descent. All right, there you go. Now we just go power idle and bring the nose up.
Give me some help here. There we go.
And then go power all the way out. There we go.
Yep, power is idle.
Perfect.
Stall warning.
There we go.
Nose come forward, full power, carpet off, flaps up to one there, and
there we go. So
all the way.
When we did, there you go, and then get that climb in. So when we actually did like the power idle and brought the nose up, we actually only lost 100 feet during that whole maneuver shindig. So you know what I mean? Because you know how we were
right, you showed the descent. Yeah, you have to go from where you
so
first.
we actually only lost 100 feet during the actual bringing the nose level until the stall horn or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Let's climb back up to 3,000, and I'll let you get the plane trimmed out again, and then once we do that, we'll do a 180-degree turn back. But we got plenty of real estate in front of us before we have to turn.
Oh, I would imagine that there's a different airspace for Arcata Airport?
Kind of, sort of, not really. It's an uncontrolled airport, so it's still the same. It's actually the same airspace that we're flying in right now. Right here, from the surface to 700 feet is golf airspace, and that's a free-for-all.
Right.
And then from above 700 feet all the way to 18,000 feet is Class E, which is also a free-for-all. Almost. So Arcata is the same as where we're flying at right now. It's just the echo goes all the way down to the surface. instead of from like Murray is the surface of 700 feet is Gulf.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There we go. We'll bring that power back a little bit. That'll help us. There we go. And then let's just do a 180-degree turn to the left or right. You pick.
We'll go over to the land.
All right. Clear on the right.
All right. A little bit of rudder. And I can come off the rudder. Okay.
What'd you say?
Oh, and I was just saying I can come off the rudder and we're still.
Oh, gotcha.
Still coordinated.